Today's episode is brought to you by applaudable.net.
Break up, and I do a little research, come back to him. And Rod goes, "What do you think?" And I said, "Well, the guy's been arrested before." And Rod goes, "Really? What did he do?" I said, "Well, he shot somebody. He shot somebody, and he stole a car. And it had a baby in it when he stole the car."
I do quick shout outs because we are getting on. So Joy Hooper, Steve Catlin, shout out to those guys. Tyler Graylish, he's been in here before. James Brennigan, that's one of my athletes. Gavin De La Cruz, who does a lot of stuff out here. You probably have bumped into him before. Rod Tremlett, good old Rod.
Yep, my man Rod.
Yeah.
Oh, got a story about Rod.
Yeah, I don't know if you can tell it. He's
You asked Rod, do you want me to tell a story, and I'll tell it.
Yeah. So Rod, do you want Joey to tell a story? He's I'm sure you can tell a story because I actually know Rod. Joey didn't know this, Big Joe didn't know this, but I ran the Darwin Basketball Association for a short stint back in the 2000s, and I met as an operations manager, and I actually met Rod then. So and then when I said that in an interview, I think it was with Jason or someone, Joe got on and checked with Rod. Is that true? Was I lying? But I think, but yeah, no, that's the truth. It's not a lie. So yeah, he didn't know.
Rod, remember I said in the summer league we take coaches over and we split them up and have them go out and scout guys. Rod's job was to go out and scout the EuroLeague camp. So he was going to go out and scout that group. And he comes back and goes, "Look, we were at the time we were looking for a 6'8", 6'9" athletic guy that could run, rebound his butt off, didn't necessarily need the ball, get it off the rim, and so forth. And we talked about all the characteristics. They got to be good people. They got to be this." So Rod comes back the next morning. This is only his second day of scouting. He goes, "I got the guy. The guy's unbelievable. He's unbelievable. He rebounds his butt off. He runs around. He does this. He can do this." And I'm getting pretty excited because everybody else is kind of like, I don't know about my guy. I don't know about this guy. So then Rod gives me the name. I break up and I do a little research, come back to him. And Rod goes, "What do you think?" And I said, "Well, the guy's been arrested before." And Rod goes, "Really? What did he do?" I said, "Well, he shot somebody. He shot somebody, and he stole a car. And it had a baby in it when he stole the car." I said, "So your guy's out." But we had already invited the guy to a workout because I was so excited based on what Rod said. So the guy showed up at the workout. And I said, we're working out. And I told the guy, he's supposed to be about 6'9", 6'10". I told the guy, "Stand up." He's only about 6 foot, 6'6". I said, "You're not 6'10". He goes, 6'9"? I go, "No, you're not even 6'9". "What about 6'8"? I said, "You're not even 6'8". I said, "You might be 6'6". He goes, "Okay." He goes, "You're not going to sign me, are you?" I said, "No." He goes, "Thanks, coach." But that was Rod Tremlett's guy. So great job, Rod. Great job.
Yeah, I had Big Joe saying, "No, don't tell it, don't tell it." he's protecting his boy, so they're tight too. Those two, that's pretty good. So actually, Rod's defending himself. Is he? He's got. It was just a BB gun. Whatever that means. Not that he shot a guy with. Yeah, it's just a BB gun.
It wasn't a real gun. It was an air rifle that he shot him with.
Yeah, but a baby in the car. I mean, talk about.
Oh, he stole a car with a baby in it as well.
So, Joe told me the story about the Tim Tams too. That was funny. So it's this is the good thing that's of having guys like yourself is. I said earlier what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, but there's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes of a team and the NBL that people just don't. Is that your dog?
Yeah, that's my little pup going
Puppy,
off.
your new one?
What's up, Stacks? We got Stacks on there. Ian Stacker.
Yeah. Yeah, he was doing lock it, load it, leave it here in Brisbane with Doggy. So g'day, yeah, Ian. And I was explaining, I was saying, so what you want him to do is shoot rainbows. I said, and he goes, oh yeah, I like that, shoot rainbows.
Yeah.
So yeah, so
Yeah.
and I say that like shoot rainbows, like because a lot of guys shoot way too flat. They need it to drop in the hoop. So
Look at Steph. All you got to do is follow Steph's art.
sorry I didn't get through all the long list. I should post that. I might post that on YouTube so people can have a look at how much you've actually achieved in your short 17 stint as a coach, 18 years as a coach. It's pretty amazing when you look back because at the time you don't notice how you accrue all those things, I guess. So, you know.
Well, the one thing here in Australia, the more you coach, the worse people think you are. So people tend to forget about all the things you've done because you've been around so long, and they just take it for granted. I know when I first got here to this country, and I'm doing all the research I can on coaches, and I was hearing things about different coaches. I'm like, these coaches are amazing. They're not just good coaches; they are amazing coaches. Brian was coaching at the time. It's just all the coaches in the league at that particular time, and even now. I think people forget about how good these guys are. It's only 9 coaching positions here. You have to be pretty talented to sustain and be sustainable over time, and it's just some really, really good coaching at the national level and even at the state league level as well. Some very good coaches.
I think one of the toughest things that a lot of people don't give consideration to, because a lot of coaches coach at the junior level where they're teaching and developing athletes that have still got a lot of skills to acquire. But when you get to the level that you guys are at, you've got to keep these guys that you're coaching not only engaged and moving forward. You're teaching guys that already have a good degree of skill, so you still got to cover all that stuff. But the point is, it gets harder to keep teaching them, and we don't know everything. There's so much to know about basketball, so you never stop learning.
It's still development to be done. You look at, and this is going back in the day. You look at a guy like Benny Castle. He had played in the league 6-7 years, and been a good player, but never really cracked the starting 5. And I looked at him and I was just like, Benny, you got so much more potential. And I said, let's focus, let's work. And 2 years later, he's playing on the Boomers team.
Yeah.
And it's been guys just come along. Stephen Black was already extremely talented when I got to him. I just had to give him a platform. I just had to say, go play. His skill sets were there. But you look at guys throughout. Chris Goulding, he had all the desire and creativity you wanted. He didn't really have the skill sets initially, so we had to build those things up and get them going. But it's no matter where they're at and what level they're at, it's still things to learn and get better at. And as a coach, we got to be able to pick those out and say, okay, those are the 3 things they need. Here's drills you need, here's the hours you need. But ultimately, I say it all the time, we don't get players better. Players get players better. So our job is just to give them a roadmap, and they got to go out and execute and get things done. So I'm never, ever taking credit for any, because every great player I had were hard workers, and they got themselves better.
One of those things that I get annoyed at some of my athletes because, I never achieved much as far as playing goes because of my height, I believe, but I had a work ethic. But the thing is I never needed anyone to get me motivated to work hard. I was self-motivated, and I have athletes that have said to me, that's my job. And I'm like, no, do you think Kobe, do you think Michael Jordan, do you think those guys needed someone in their corner to push them? Because if that's what you need, you're not going to be great, because the greatest don't need someone to tell them to work harder. They've just got it.
That's right. It is. I never walked in the locker room in 20 years of coaching and gave a speech that won the game. In 20 years. I've sat in the locker room for another 20 years, and a coach has never walked in and given me a speech that made me go out and play harder than I was going to play already. That's 40 years, and I have not seen it yet. I see it on movies a lot. I see it on movies a lot, but I haven't seen it in reality. We're not motivating the greats. I got a young lady now, Laurie Sumpy, that I work with, and she is going to be one of the best female players to play this game ever. And she is so self-motivated, it's ridiculous. It's raining, and her parents are going, get out the rain. come inside. She's still out there playing, working on drills in the rain. She wakes up in the morning thinking about basketball and never stops until she goes to sleep. That young lady's gonna be good because of the work she puts in.
That's one of my criteria, actually, is that when they go to bed, they dream basketball, and when they wake up, the first thing they think about is basketball. And I think you get an athlete like that, and you've got probably a lifer, and B, it's someone who is sleeping, breathing, and living it.
Oh, yeah.
And they're the athletes I love to work with too. So I'll leave it there. I would love to keep going on, but we got to finish. So I'm going to try and hit up maybe CJ. Or maybe Mitch McCarron if he isn't on his honeymoon. I don't know what he did for that because
he won't be.
No, I know. But I might hit him up, see if he wants to chat.
The people on my feed, you guys look him up. Craig Rowe. Tune in every Thursday. He usually has someone on, so appreciate it.
Appreciate that too, and go check out the YouTube channel. Some of the videos that I mentioned there, with a number of different topics being covered. Please do that. I'm trying to work out. I've got that many buttons. I've got to work out which one to stop here to stop the stream. All right, mate. Appreciate your time.
Which one to stop mine?
All right.
Push this.
Thanks for joining us for a basketball conversation. Feel free to start a conversation of your own with other Ozswoosh superfans by commenting below. And I look forward to sharing our next conversation with you soon. I hope you'll join us again sometime. Catch you later.